Y'all, something wild just dropped. An ex-nanny who once worked for Beyonce and Jay-Z is allegedly breaking her silence, and what she said has fans completely shaken. She claims Rumi was always the easy one, but sir, that's where things get serious. According to this nanny, the rumors we've heard for years might be true. She says Sir is dealing with a severe condition, and that's why he's been missing from the spotlight. Not just camera shy, but possibly not even living at home. And now the internet's putting all the pieces together. From Beyonce's strange interviews to what fans have seen or haven't seen about the twins, things are starting to make a lot more sense. But that wasn't the whole story, because what the nanny said next had people completely stunned. Let's go back a bit. When Beyonce first introduced the twins, Rumi and Sir, the world was watching. She shared baby photos, featured them in Ivy Park campaigns, and even included them in a few family videos. Everything seemed picture perfect. For a while, fans felt like they were getting a glimpse into the Carter family life, but then it all went silent. As the twins grew older, the updates stopped. Blue Ivy stayed in the spotlight, performing with Beyonce, showing up at red carpets, and even attending the Super Bowl year after year. Rumi eventually started appearing again too, on stage, at events, in the background of tour footage. But Sir, he completely disappeared. No photos, no red carpets, no sightings, nothing. And fans noticed. They started asking questions. Why was Sir nowhere to be found? Why did Rumi slowly re-enter public life, but Sir remained hidden? Some said it was for privacy. Others thought Beyonce was just being protective. But after years of silence, even loyal fans began to suspect something more was going on. And just when the rumors started dying down, the nanny allegedly stepped in with answers. But the explanation she gave, that was just the beginning, and it raised more questions than it answered. Once Sir faded from the public eye, the internet did what it always does, started connecting dots. People weren't just asking where he went, they were wondering why. That's when the word autism started showing up in online threads, fan theories, and even celebrity gossip pages. At first, it was just whispers, but over time, it got louder. Fans pointed out that Beyonce used to share both twins freely when they were babies, but after the toddler stage, she pulled back hard, especially when it came to Sir. Meanwhile, Rumi started reappearing, but only under careful supervision. That's when theories surfaced, suggesting that both children might be on the spectrum, just at different levels. And fans didn't stop there. Clips of Rumi at Beyonce's shows went viral. People claimed she was stimming on stage, moving her hands in ways that felt familiar to those who've seen autism firsthand. Another video caught her yelling into Beyonce's mic, saying, "That made me so happy." Some saw it as a sweet moment, others thought it hinted at neurodivergence. Still, Rumi was present, active, loved by the public. But Sir, his complete absence felt heavier, too complete. That gap led many to believe his condition, if true, might be more serious. And it didn't help that not a single recent image of him could be found. That silence only made the theories grow stronger. And what the nanny said next? It added fuel to the fire. When the ex-nanny allegedly came forward, she didn't hold back. According to her, the internet rumors weren't just wild guesses. They were dangerously close to the truth. She claimed that both twins were diagnosed with autism, but the difference between them was night and day. Rumi, she said, is high functioning. That's why she can appear on stage, walk red carpets, and interact with fans, as long as she's closely monitored. The nanny even mentioned that Rumi always has someone nearby during public outings, just in case she gets overwhelmed. But with the right support, she blends in well enough. Sir, on the other hand, is a completely different story. The nanny claimed that his condition is severe. So severe, in fact, that it made public appearances almost impossible. She described Sir as nonverbal and hypersensitive to sound and light, things that would make public life incredibly hard for him. According to her, this is why Beyonce and Jay-Z quietly pulled him out of the spotlight altogether. And here's where things got even more personal. The nanny said that complications during childbirth may have affected Sir more than Rumi. She even claimed Sir was the twin whose heart stopped during delivery, something Beyonce mentioned in a past interview, but never fully explained. That one detail changed everything. And what she shared next made people revisit Beyonce's own words with brand new eyes. Now, here's where things get eerie. Years ago, Beyonce did an interview with Vogue where she opened up about her pregnancy with the twins. At the time, people focused on the beauty and strength of her story, but after the nanny's claims surfaced, fans started looking back, and suddenly, things she said hit different. She shared that she weighed 218 pounds at the time of birth, was swollen from toxemia, and had been on bed rest for over a month. She described the delivery as an emergency C-section, but the detail that truly stood out? She said one of the twins' hearts stopped dropped during delivery. Back then, she didn't say which twin, but according to the nanny, it was Sir. Beyoncé also mentioned that they spent several weeks in the NICU and that she was in survival mode for months afterward. She talked about her organs being temporarily shifted, even removed. At the time, it sounded like the usual stress of a high-risk birth, but now, fans believe she was hinting at something more, something she couldn't fully say out loud. Medical experts have long studied the effects of preeclampsia and traumatic births on children. Some reports even suggest a possible link between those factors and increased chances of autism. Suddenly, all the silence around Sir started to feel less like privacy and more like protection. And as fans revisited Beyoncé's past interviews, some believed she had been signaling the truth all along. But if that's the case, why not just say it? The next clue might explain exactly why she kept it hidden. Beyoncé is known for choosing her words carefully. She rarely speaks publicly, and when she does, everything feels intentional. That's why fans started to analyze her past interviews with fresh eyes, especially the way she talks about her children. In one interview, she spoke with pride about her daughters, Rumi and Blue Ivy. She said, "It's important to me that they see themselves as CEOs, as bosses, that they can speak their minds, and that they have no ceiling." It was powerful, bold, and full of confidence. But when she spoke about her son, the tone shifted. Instead of empowering words about leadership or limitless potential, she said, "I hope to teach my son not to fall victim to what the internet says he should be, that the real magic he possesses is the power to affirm his own existence." That line hit differently. Fans felt like Beyoncé was describing a child who's misunderstood, someone who may struggle to be seen or accepted in a world that isn't always kind. It didn't sound like just a general parenting quote. It sounded personal, like she was trying to say something without actually saying it. And if you believe what the nanny said, Beyoncé was dropping hints. She wasn't ready to tell the full story, but she couldn't stay completely silent either. Her words were like puzzle pieces. And then came the tweets from people who claimed to know the truth. And that's when things took a sharp turn. The speculation around Sir Carter didn't just stay with fans online. Over the years, a few celebrities have added fuel to the fire, intentionally or not. One of the most unexpected voices? Kanye West. Kanye, during one of his social media rants, tweeted something cryptic about Jay-Z and Beyoncé's younger kids. He questioned why the world rarely saw them and hinted that there was more to the story about their family. He didn't go into detail, but the tweet stayed up long enough for fans to screenshot it, analyze it, and connect it to ongoing rumors. Then came Azealia Banks, who didn't hold back at all. She directly accused Beyoncé of hiding Sir. In one of her most viral posts, she wrote, "Stop hiding your son from the world, sis. People will find out sooner or later, and you're gonna look bad for being ashamed of your own child." It was a brutal statement, one that instantly sent fans into a frenzy. Hazel E. also chimed in, backing up Kanye's claims. She didn't say much about Sir directly, but she hinted that something about the twins was being kept secret.
Things that I've read, the comments that I've read is more so something along the line that there's some things the twins might have some kind of like issue, but the fans just want Beyonce to come out and tell the truth about what's going on with her children and be an advocate for whatever said issues might be, whatever it is. They just want her to come out and be a voice for it versus like trying to hide them, lock them in a room, act like they don't exist.
Adding that fans just wanted Beyoncé to be open about whatever her children might be facing.
But based on like certain things that have come out, people are drawing conclusions about the twins. At a certain point, people thought the little boy was unalived, because they hadn't seen him in so long.
These comments from fellow celebrities didn't just add to the drama, they made the rumors feel heavier. If these insiders were speaking up, did they know something the public didn't? And then, the nanny's claim about Sir's living situation took everything to another level. Here's where the story takes a turn that caught everyone off guard. According to the Ex-Nanny, Sir doesn't live with Beyoncé and Jay-Z anymore. She claims his condition became too overwhelming for the family to manage on their own, so they made the decision to place him in a full-time care facility. Not just any place, though. The nanny described it as a private, extremely high-end center meant for children with special needs. Still, it wasn't in their home, and that's what shook fans to the core. To some, it felt like abandonment, no matter how fancy the care might be. Others argued it was the most loving decision if his needs were truly that complex. But one thing was clear, it didn't match the polished image the Carters had always shared with the world. A close-knit, perfect family, suddenly with a missing piece. And the more people dug into it, the more unsettling it all began began to feel. But the real question now, was this silence about privacy or shame? After all the whispers, the interviews, the tweets, and now the nanny's alleged claims, fans are left with more questions than answers. If Sir really is living in a private facility, was it about getting him the help he needs, or about protecting an image? Beyonce and Jay-Z have always been fiercely private, but when silence starts to feel like secrecy, people begin to wonder what's really going on. Some say the Carters are just doing what's best for their son, others believe they're hiding something deeper. Whatever the truth is, one thing's for sure, this story isn't going away. And if more people close to the family start speaking out, the polished picture we've seen for years might start to crack. Because behind the fame, the money, and the flawless image, there may be a story Beyonce never wanted the world to know.